Hey Dressage Superstars, welcome to Dressage Mastery TV. My name is Tash and I'm a Grand Prix dressage rider from Australia, and this is my gorgeous mare Gretchen. Now today I want to answer a question from a Dressage Mastery member from Beth. It is a super cool question. You ready? How do I bend my horse? Hands up who doesn't get bend, who doesn't get flexion, who doesn't get it. That was me. So, firstly you have to say, what's the difference between bend and flexion? And if you read the books, bend is through the whole body. So bend is her bending all the way through her back, through her rib cage, through her legs, everything up to the pole, so bending through the neck. Flexion comes from the pole down. Now the pole is just between her two big floppy ears, and flexion is basically her head. So when I'm asking for, normally we say we're asking for flexion and bend, but sometimes you'll just ask for flexion, sometimes you'll just ask for bend. Now, horses are like us, left-handed or right-handed, and they bend and flex better one way than the other. That's just how they're born, same as us. If you ever go to a gym, you'll be able to bicep curl with your right arm, if you're right-handed normally, a little bit more than on your left. So we're all born uneven, horses are no exception. What makes it really fun is if you are stronger on one side and the horse is naturally stronger on that side, then you have like a horse and rider, like the whole horse develops even stronger on one side and a lot weaker on the other side, because obviously both of you are attuned to that side. So our job as a dressage rider, to make a dressage horse and to make a Grand Prix horse, is to make the horse straight. Straightness is is part of the German training scale, and straightness is super, super important. Now, what people don't understand is to get straightness, you have to get suppleness. And suppleness means that the horse can bend left and right really happily without resistance. Then your horse is really supple. So I always think with suppleness, it's like if I asked you to do the splits, can you do the splits? And if you can do the splits, good for you, but most people can't. Same as a horse. If I get on Gretchen, she's young, and I say, hey, I need you to bend and flex in your half pass like a Grand Prix horse can, she's like, oh, that's like asking me to do a splits. I can't do it. My muscles don't go that way. So every single day we ride them, we need to make them just that little bit more supple. So if I said go into as much splits as you can do, and let's say that was as far as you could go, and then the next day we just moved it a centimetre, a centimetre, a centimetre, a centimetre, by the end of the year you could probably do the splits. It's the same as the horse. We just ask for little amounts, and so the horse gets marginally more supple and marginally more stronger every time we ride them until we have a Grand Prix horse. Pretty easy, isn't it? That is a joke for anyone who thinks I'm being serious. But literally that is the logic behind what we do. So how do we get a horse to bend? If you've been riding dressage, you would have heard the term inside leg to outside rein, inside leg to outside rein. What the hell is that? What that means is you want to be able to push your inside leg on, and as you do that, the horse, same as if I push you in your flank, if I did that, you're going to go like this. And then you've created, you've moved your body to the outside and you've developed a softening through this part of your stomach. Then if I suddenly say do this, you're going to do it the other way. So that's what the inside leg is meant to do. And as the inside leg pushes, you catch, because you don't want your horse to actually throw itself outside, so you catch that suppleness and bend with your outside rein, so then the horse can travel straight and forward. In an ideal world, on a Grand Prix horse that's listening and wanting to work for you, that is how, when the horse gets a little bit stiff, all you do is inside leg, half halt in the outside rein, and the horse is back there again. But on a young horse, they don't know that, and you can, use your inside leg, and sometimes the horse can go, like if I poke you in the stomach, you might do that and push against me and go, yeah, I'll push against you, which the horse does a lot. Sometimes when you ask the horse to bend and supple, they get stiffer and they push more and fight more. So that's where your inside rein comes in. Your inside rein is your backup to your inside leg. So if you ask the horse with an inside leg and the horse doesn't understand, you'll just go like this, bend, 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 and then you'll soften. See how there's a loop in my inside rein? I never loop with the outside rein, but I'll say, hey, I need you to bend, and then allow. And then I'll use my inside leg, and she hasn't listened, so bend, bend, and allow. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Now, I actually think it's harder to create suppleness and bend in the walk, because there's no moment of suspension and you don't have that beautiful forward tendency to get the horse to travel forward into the bit. So now you can see I'm happy with her head is, she's on my outside rein, her nose is in the middle of the chest. But if I wanted to overbend her even, to say, hey, I need a bit more suppleness, I do it with the inside leg and the inside rein. Anytime I use my inside rein, my inside leg is on. There is never a time I would just use my inside rein. Now, when I was learning, I used to ride like this. I love my inside rein. That's pretty much everyone. Love my inside rein, and they ride like this. And the horse's head is perpetually in, and that's just not the right way to go about it at all. So I pretended my inside rein was in a fire glass, you know, where it says only open in case of emergencies. So I was like, okay, I will only use my inside rein if I have to. I will have develop, because my outside rein, I didn't have a contact with it. It kept flopping. So I held my saddle blanket with my outside rein so I could develop a strong outside rein connection, and then I can give my inside rein. And you see, every time I give my inside rein, she sometimes bends a little bit to the outside, but it's not much. So that just shows you how, when I'm riding her, just doing little corrections with the inside rein. Good girl. And then when she travels forward and into the bit, there she's hanging, there she's too much on the forehand. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Good girl. There's better. So bend, bend, and allow. Bend, bend, and allow. Bend, bend, and allow. Bend, bend, and allow. And how much I bend, bend, and allow might be that you can't even see. Now she's a little bit hanging, so you're going to see me use my reins, but look at my legs. Look at my spurs. If I do anything with my reins, I do more with my legs, because I'm packaging her into a package. I'm putting her into the bit. So I have to ask the hind legs to be active. Yeah, and then allow. Bend, bend, and allow. She's stiff to this side. So it makes it, and your horse will be stiffer to this to a side. So that just means, see, now I'm going to go into a little bit of an overbend. So I put her inside head really in, even her shoulders slightly in. Look at my leg. My inside leg and spur is there. Okay, so if you're going to use your inside rein, you've got to use your inside leg. Now, I found when I was learning, the hardest thing about getting bend inflection was feeling when the horse needed bend inflection. So I really encourage you to develop your feel. Even close your eyes if you're on a safe horse, or forget about, it's so hard. I remember learning from a mentor, if you want to go forward, if you want to progress faster, take a backward step. And I remember going, that makes no sense, you're fired, you don't speak English. But it makes perfect sense. If you want to progress forward and you want to progress faster, take a backward step. Forget about where the horse's head is. Forget about what the horse is doing for a second and say, today I'm going to focus on feeling bend and flexion. Or today I'm going to focus on feeling what the hind legs are doing. You've heard the term that you ride a horse back to front, but no one does it. I didn't start doing it till I rode Prix St George because I was so going, I have to get to Prix St George, I have to get to Grand Prix, and I took every shortcut I could to just get the tricks out rather than take my backward steps and work on training a horse. Now I get my horses from prelim to Grand Prix in 5 years purely because I'm not, I have Grand Prix in mind, but I focus on the basics. I focus on the hind legs. I focus on what the horse's body is doing and fix that. Don't focus what the head is doing. So if you'd like to know way more info about the system, how to work a horse in a system, how to get your basics right so you can progress all the way to Grand Prix rather than just do the tricks, how to develop your feel, how to develop riding the horse the correct way, that is why I've created the Dressage Mastery System. It's only $1 for you to join the first month, so you can try it for 1 month, see if you like it. If you don't, cancel, not a problem. If you do, it's $49 a month, and it is a program that is used by over 1,000 people worldwide, and it really helps. It really helps you have the system and the understanding of how to train your horse. And that's why I did it, because I found riding and training horses so hard for so long until I finally got there. So trust that helps. You guys have an amazing training week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.